Welcome back to my video blog. It's Mike Trobanian with Vegas Capital Realty. I get a lot of my clients asking me, what are the tax rates in Nevada? How is it assessed? And how can they check it out? In order to answer this question, I have a great guest here with us, an escrow attorney, Mr. Kyle Wallace, who is the state manager of Drake's Title. Welcome, Kyle. Thank you for being here, and thank you for helping us with these questions. So to get right into it, how does the tax rate is calculated in Nevada for properties?
So in Nevada, there's one of two ways that a property is calculated for a tax value. The first way, of course, is if it's your primary residence, and the second is if it's an investment property.
Okay.
Right. So anything that's a primary resident is supposed to have a max cap rate of 3%. So the most they can charge you in taxes is 3%.
3%, that's on primary if they're living in it.
Correct.
Yeah.
If it's not a primary residence, if it's an investment property, a commercial property, rental, something like that, those rates can vary from 4.5% up to 8%.
Wow.
So the taxes are quite a bit different between the two of them.
And do you know what makes the difference between 4 up to 8? It just varies?
Just depends on what area they're zoned in.
The city, the zone.
Correct.
Okay, interesting.
Yep.
Excellent. So first thing first, you want to make sure you know that you are living in the house as a primary or rental. That's going to be a big difference, right?
Number one, yes.
Okay, great. And how is that calculated? Do you know?
So when they're assessing the value of the property, and there's the assessed value, and anyone that's gone online has seen this. They know when they look up at the assessed value of their property,
right,
it's much lower than the actual value of the property.
Yeah.
And that's intended to be that way, because the tax rate in Nevada is based on 35% of the appraised value. So the assessed value is only supposed to represent 35% of the actual value of the property.
Interesting. Okay. So 35% of the actual, so if a house is worth about 400,000, 35% of that is going to be 140,000.
Correct.
Correct?
Yes.
And now it's 3% of the 140,000.
That's correct.
Okay, got it. So, okay. So that kind of clarifies it. And now if there's, if the assessment is wrong, or if someone thinks it's too high, is there a way they can dispute that, or?
I think there's two issues there that you address. Number one is, if you look at your taxes and you see that the rate is higher than 3% and you're living in the property, then there's a problem at the county where they haven't marked it as your primary residence, right? That's number one. And then the second issue is, let's say my property's worth $300,000, but according to the 35% assessed value, they're showing it worth $400,000. Right. Then I would certainly want to dispute that so I can bring my taxes down. And you can do that with the county. Okay,
great. And if they are living in the house, however, the taxes are high as an investment property, how do they go about it to lower it and notify the assessor that it's their homestead and their primary home?
Okay, so good question. The first answer is when you buy the property, you get a little postcard in the mail, and I see you have an example of something like the little postcard that you get, and you open it up, and there's a little checkbox that says I reside in this property, or you check something else and you send it in. A lot of people don't do anything with that. Right, so they don't get that cap of 3%. They're above that cap. If you've been in the house for a while and you're not sure, or you don't remember filling out the postcard, or you've thrown it away, you can simply call the assessor and treasurer's office.
Do you have that number?
I do. It's 702-455-3882.
Excellent. Okay, great.
And you just tell them, hey, look, this is my primary residence. It was never marked as such, and then they'll adjust it and get you the tax cap that you need.
And I'm also going to include the link in the video. So remember, if you have any questions about any of this topic and you need help adjusting it, or if you have any questions about it, feel free to reach out to us. Call me directly. you got my information, or email us, and I'm happy to answer all your questions, guide you in the right direction. And if we need more help, Kyle's always here to help us as well. Again, Kyle is with Drake's Title. He's a state manager. Thank you very much for being here and helping us with all this good information.
Thank you, Mike.
Kyle. Thank you for it.